Hey, so I'm just wondering, is anyone up to give me a reach around real quick? Just a little one.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Filmatic Podcast. You're listening to Nabil Sharif, Evan Lemole. How's it going, Evan?
I'm doing wonderful. How have you been, Nabil? How's Filmatic been? I feel like it's been so long since I've been back.
Filmatic is back with a passion. If you've been following along on our social media or listening to our recent episodes, I mean, we're kind of going off on all cylinders. We're actually following a plan for the first time in a while. You know, last week we had the excellent Coming to America pod with Justin. This week we have the Schneider cut, and next week we of course have the legendary Shrek episode coming up. So things are going well, I would say. All right, so good to see you, Evan. I'm excited to talk about it with you. And Jackson is here for the first time, I believe. How's it going, Jackson?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I finally made it out. Glad you invited me.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I know you did a kind of binge of the DC content.
Yeah. I watched the Ultimate Edition of Batman vs Superman over the weekend, and then this 4-hour. So I'm on 7 hours of Snyder content in a week. So
was Batman vs Superman made by Zack Snyder?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He did that one. He did that one, and he did Man of Steel.
Yep.
I've seen both of those. Okay, cool. I don't remember them, but I've seen them.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right, and of course, returning for a second week in a row, Justin Fishler. How's it going, buddy?
It's good. It's good. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, can I just say, for anyone returning from the Coming To podcast that is obviously boggled by my presence on this podcast, let me explain. So, if you remember, I explicitly said in the Coming To podcast, I had no intentions of watching the Schneider cut, and I had no interest in it.
Right.
I just haven't been following the DC universe, and now here I am. Where did that bring me? Back to you.
Back to me.
And I just want to say, I'm sorry for anyone that was really looking forward to me not being in the episode.
I don't think anyone was. I mean, look. I will say that, unironically, the episodes that we have with you, I believe the 2 episodes, right? The first one being the quarantine episode. That one is one of our top ranking episodes. It's in the top 3 episodes. It's got 57 plays.
Wow.
And the Coming to America episode jumped to like 12 plays within less than a week, which is unprecedented because normally that's like the peak. So, I think that maybe the audience is taking a liking to you more than you think.
That's awesome.
Of course.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
All right. It's time. We all invested so much time into this, and it's time to reap the rewards and see what we think and drop some hot takes.
This is this is a big one. This is the Schneider cut. This is the Schneider cut. After how many years? After how long it's been?
So, yeah, I guess we should maybe start talking about the development, even though I feel like I've talked about it in every other Filmatic episode. But, for those who maybe haven't heard, so this all started, all right? Let's go back, all right? Let's go back. Man of Steel, okay? Man of Steel was the DC's first entry into their attempt at a cinematic universe. They saw Marvel, they saw Avengers, right? We're talking 2013. They say, we got to get in here. All right. However, we can give them credit, I would say, because they went with a director who has, I think, in my opinion, much more of a specific vision, and they went with something that was different than Marvel, right? They wanted it to be more gritty, realistic. They saw how well Christopher Nolan did, and they wanted to kind of bring that energy, but inject a little more fantasy into it to kind of counter against Marvel's. Because I think that a lot of people would agree that Marvel, especially in its middle years, I think that the beginning and recent movies are debatable, but especially in its peak was very formulaic. I think the directors of those movies were more assigned to do things. less so than be allowed to inject too much of their vision. I mean, we all know that Edgar Wright got fired from Ant-Man, and there's so many stories of things like that with Marvel. So I think that DC deserves some props for hiring Zack Snyder to start off their universe with Man of Steel.
Remember the Fantastic Four movie?
Which
Wasn't
one?
that like the Four Stick one?
Okay, Josh Trank, yeah. That was a dumpster fire.
I don't know. I just like for some reason I just remembered it right now.
Okay,
I haven't
yeah,
seen
no.
it, but I heard a lot of funny things about it.
It's the wrong podcast episode, Evan.
Wrong episode.
Shit.
Quick
Did
thoughts
you
on that, though.
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
I
What were you saying,
can't
Jake?
say I ever saw it, but
Not me
like
neither.
for me, most of the time when I'm looking at watching movies, especially superhero movies, I always wait a little bit to see how people like it.
Mhm.
Like how it was with Suicide Squad. I was super excited for the Suicide Squad when it came out with the trailers and such, and then I just waited a while, and
Mhm.
everyone was like, "This is one of the worst movies like ever made," and I was
Mhm.
like, "Well, I guess I don't have to
Well,
watch it anymore."
because once again, you have a movie that's riddled with interference and behind the scenes drama with 20th Century Fox. And yeah, like Justin said, we get into that maybe later or in a different episode, but it was just terrible production hell, and of course came out to be a terrible movie.
Yeah,
Highly
it
recommend.
really
Yeah.
shows. Like that movie is fucking messy, dude. Like
Yeah.
I don't
It kind
know,
of,
especially
I mean,
like,
it kind of relates because I think that, again, I didn't see the full movie, but from what I heard and what little I've seen,
Mhm.
it's similar to the theatrical cut of Justice League in the sense that there will be a shot of a character, and then you can tell that it cuts and it's a reshoot shot just by their hair and the way they look and stuff, kind of like theatrical Justice League.
So you're saying like, because forgive me, but I actually I didn't watch the original Snyder cut, or not the original Schneider cut, the original Justice League, the one with
Yeah.
Joss Whedon or whatever.
Mhm.
So you're saying like, in the middle of scenes there would just be reshoots, like where from
Yeah,
one
so-
shot to the next there's a clear visible difference. Like I
Yeah.
can't believe that.
because there's a clear visible difference, and there's also a clear, I think, auditory difference. And I think Jackson could probably jump in on this since he just watched it, but like from what I remember and what's prevalent to me is like, it'll be the scene where Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne is talking to Aquaman in that bar.
Yeah.
It'll be clearly like a Zack Snyder shot. You can tell by the composition and the way it's set up. And then like Aquaman grabs him and pushes him into the wall, right? But then you can tell it's a Whedon cut because it's significantly brighter. Ben Affleck is like bloated. His hair is different.
He looks like he'd just been like broken up with.
Yeah, like his hair is totally different.
Dude, poor
all
Ben
this crap.
Affleck, man.
Yeah,
Ben Affleck gets shit on
For
all the
real.
time, bro. I always see like funny ass pictures, like paparazzi pictures of him.
have you seen the recent one of him dropping his Dunkin Donuts?
Yeah, it's so sad. I feel
Like,
so bad for that guy.
It was really bad. Like this is like really recently. Like he was walking into his house with like a drink carrier and a bag of Dunkin Donuts, and the paparazzi like surprised him, so he dropped it.
Oh no.
Oh, dude,
And
I'd
it's
be
like-
so pissed.
I
Oh
would
yeah,
be so angry.
There's a
Yeah.
picture of him before he drops it, and he looks happy.
Really?
then-
I feel like most
He
of
looks
the time these
happy.
pictures,
And
like,
then after, look, I'll send it to you.
he looks like
yeah. I've seen it. It's
oh that.
everyone right now listening to the podcast. Please
That
Google
poor
Ben
man.
Affleck. Look up Ben Affleck.
Oh, he
Dunkin'
was
Donuts.
Oh,
so
God, dude.
happy.
You can
It was
literally see like that one
Wait,
coffee is
wait,
like
no,
floating
wait.
in midair.
Wait, this is a completely different picture. What do you mean? He's
No,
wearing a
so,
different
like-
shirt. Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
There it
that's
is.
it.
Okay, I
Oh
see
my
it now.
god, man.
Oh, that is a completely different. It's a different
That's
shirt.
a different shirt, different drink. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, true. Look, it came up on Google.
Look. The point still
Gullible.
stands.
But the
The
point still
point
stands.
The
Yeah.
man was just enjoying. He literally, even though I know the first picture is a different day, I guess, but look at that face. That is just childlike happiness.
That's
you
a
know?
man who doesn't
That's a
realize he's
man-
getting chased by the paparazzi 24/7, and it's like,
That's a man who just.
I
who
remember
knows
now.
Yeah, that's a man who knows Schneider Cut's coming out in a month and is still dating Anna de Armas and just got some Dunkin' Donuts. Look at that face. Beautiful.
I mean,
And then
I would be.
Oh my
thrilled
God.
to be-
Why are there so many Dunkin' Donuts pictures of
Dude,
Ben
he
Zack
is
Ben
obsessed with
Affleck.
Dunkin'.
I
And
think it's a Boston
He's
thing,
from
isn't
Boston,
it?
yeah. He's from Boston.
I'm pretty sure like everyone from Boston is obsessed with Dunkin' Donuts.
I like Dunkin'.
Yeah.
You guys like Dunkin'?
I
Yeah, man.
No
honestly
comment.
don't care at all for Dunkin'.
It's good. It's not bad. It's not something I'm like I gotta get some Dunkin'. You know, it's like.
I mean, I'm not a coffee drinker, so that is one
okay.
thing. Is that, and I think that's why a lot of people get hooked on it is because of the coffee, not really the donuts.
Well, I think we all had one type of how do I put this? Can I say this? Like one type of white girl in high school who walks into class in the morning with the Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
There's more than one.
Oh, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
there's multiple. Yeah.
In each of our respective classes, we had one. That's what I'm saying.
In each of
Yeah.
my perspective eyesight.
And then there's the one person that goes above and beyond and just has straight pumpkin spice, just creamer, just full to the cup, to the brim. And they're like, it's fall time. I just really like it. It's like, dude,
I remember one time in like ninth, maybe 10th, probably ninth grade, someone like one of the girls like gave me a piece of her like munchkin as like out of like pity. Like, oh, thank you, Massa, thank you.
Oh no!
It's like this like one bite of like a
Jesus.
glazed donut. Oh, man.
You can have crumbs.
Anyway, what are we talking about?
I
You're
think
going
my favorite
so off
Dunkin'
rails.
Donut is the fucking Boston cream, which is funny and ironic because Ben Affleck is from Boston.
Wait, Ben Affleck is from
Do you think-
Boston?
Wait, is that a? I thought he is. Yeah, right.
No, he is. I was joking.
So like, I guess I have a little connection to Ben Affleck there. I wonder if he
From
do
Boston?
you think he orders Boston cream when he goes to?
You have a connection to Ben Affleck because you like Boston.
No, those are definitely munchkins, bro. I can see the box.
Oh shit, he's a munchkin eater.
Yeah. He's a
I don't know.
munchkin.
Maybe that was just that day. Maybe it was just that day. He
No,
wanted
because
munchkin.
if you look down at the other photo that
There's so many pictures
Justin
of
has
him,
just dumped like 10 pictures into Discord.
different
of, like-
occasions.
Each one is a different occasion, of course.
yeah, and in this one he got it delivered to his house.
I like the one where it's
something.
comparing his house. It's not even him holding Dunkin' Donuts. It's a picture of him in like a brown jacket and the brown pants. And it's comparing the way he looks to a Dunkin' Donuts Oreo vanilla bean culotta.
I like this.
It's just-
I found a Daily Mail article that's just titled "Is Ben Affleck living on Dunkin' Donuts?"
I mean, props to him for like various movie roles being ripped, still eating Dunkin' Donuts every day. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
I just goes to show, calories in, calories out.
Yeah.
You just gotta.
You know, even at his worst, he's
I mean, he did
he's
say
an
that
all right looking guy.
he's not gonna do Batman anymore, didn't he?
See, he said that, but then recently at the, I don't know if anyone saw like the DC fandom event they did back in like summer quarantine era, maybe July or something, or maybe August, when they released that the Batman trailer. They also announced the Flashpoint movie, which we'll talk about, I think, and they said that he would be returning as Batman. But also in that movie, Michael Keaton is playing Batman, and as many of us know, Flashpoint is a kind of multiverse adventure, so maybe he's only in it to a limited degree. Maybe they're bringing him back. I have no idea.
So
what's going
he is going to be in the Flash
He-
movie, but
on.
he's
He is
not.
confirmed.
But
to
Robert
be-
Pattinson is still the
Yeah,
he's still
Robert
the other one?
Pattinson's. Yeah, Robert Pattinson's the Batman is a different unit. So okay,
Okay.
here's
I
what
kinda
DC
get-
has going on. Here's what DC has going on right now. Right?
They have a lot of fucking
First-
bullshit going on.
First, you have the DCEU, right, which is Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, Justice League, Birds of Prey. And when I say Justice League, I mean the theatrical cut, because Warner Bros. Confirmed like last week that they're not counting Zack Schneider's cut as canon. They're counting the theatrical cut as canon. So that's the DCEU. Then you have this Zack Snyder verse, which is with the Schneider cut being the most recent thing. They're saying there won't be any more movies, but I would imagine if they got enough reception, maybe they would do something with him again. I mean, they said there would be no Schneider cut, and here we are. So who knows? And then you have the Matt Reeves Batman universe, which is going to be the Batman and supposedly a trilogy of Robert Pattinson movies as well
Ooh.
as an HBO Max series about. So those are all the different universes that they have going, as well as part of the DCEU is the Flashpoint movie, which may spin into something else because Michael Keaton is in it, which connects it back to the Burn movies.
Dude, they really just they don't have any clue what's going
They
on.
have no plan. I mean, they kind of have a plan because, okay, well, we'll get to that anyway, because that's kind of involving some of the Zack Snyder interviews he did for Schneider Cut. So we can talk about that, I think, later. Where was I before we did this? So I was just talking about how they did Man of Steel. Let me just fast track this. They did Man of Steel. It got very mixed reviews, both critics and audience wise.
Mhm.
All right. Then they gave Zack Snyder Batman vs Superman, which critically did not do very well, and audience wise also did not do very well. And then they basically he started production on Justice League like almost right after Batman vs Superman released. So once he was like a quarter way through production of Justice League, they were like, "Oh, people really don't like Batman vs Superman worldwide. We need to get some people in there." So they injected some executives. This guy who you might know, his name is Jeff Johns. He was pretty big in creating the most recent DC Comics, New 52, and he's kind of their head of entertainment and has been for the last few years. And Joss Whedon as well, even before he took over to kind of give notes because of what they wanted. Yeah.
Do you think they got Joss Whedon just because he directed Avengers?
Oh yeah, they literally said that they
100%.
Yeah, no, he said that
100%.
they got all these people. They got all these people to basically babysit Zack Snyder because they wanted it to be more Marvel-like, and they wanted him to stop doing his kind of movie after Batman vs Superman.
I just can't believe they can't like see the clear downsides with something like that. You know,
Yeah.
Trying to control this one guy's story is just only going to make it worse. You know,
and that's what
you have to go one way or the other.
Yeah,
exactly.
You can't do half and half.
Literally, yeah.
You can.
Well,
They
did.
They tried.
They did do it, and it failed. It was a dumpster fire.
Yeah. So then that happened like a quarter way through production. Then about halfway, maybe a little over halfway, Zack Snyder had a very personal family tragedy, and he kind of, in tandem with that, kind of had enough of them pushing back. He couldn't really fight anymore. You know, he didn't really have the kind of willpower to after his family stuff. So he basically stepped down / maybe was fired. I think it was mostly stepping down. And then Warner Brothers was like, "All right, you're in, Joss." And then they paid Joss. So the total budget of Justice League is somewhere around 300 to 400 million because of reshoots. Because they let Joss Whedon reshoot whatever he wanted, basically.
It was 300 according to Wikipedia.
There you go. And normally, and Evan knows this, you can always pretty much add 100 million to a budget purely for marketing.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the rule. And it could be even more because of...
for something like that size?
Yeah.
A movie that big.
So we don't know. But that's why I say 300 to 400. So that happened. Obviously, it was a dumpster fire, a total mess of a movie because there were Snyder shots, but then there were
at the box
reshoots.
office, though.
It did better than Batman vs Superman. No, better than... Did it do better than Batman vs Superman? Maybe.
I actually
probably
don't
know.
not. It was 658 million, and then Batman vs Superman.
Is that world? I'm trying to see if that's worldwide though, because
874
sounds.
874 was Batman vs Superman.
No,
so,
yeah,
but I'm thinking those are worldwide, which
for sure.
Here, let's see. Justice League, worldwide was around 600 million.
Right.
That's not that good for a budget that big.
No, it's not.
They didn't make their budget. They didn't make their budget's worth in America.
No, it was a failure. It was a fiscal failure.
Yeah, very bad.
I think it's mostly because whenever I look at the box office versus the budget, I always see the ones that fail miserably. So when I see one actually be like, "Oh, they had profit," I'm like, "Whoa, that's crazy! They actually profited off their movie. It's insane."
Exactly. No, I mean. I'm sure you remember, like back in Prod, like you, me, and Cooper would just like, sometimes we would just spend like all day just looking at these movie numbers and crunching them, and it's a really interesting thing to do. I mean, obviously now with COVID it's different, but it was fun to kind of see every week and just talk about it and do calculations. And there's all sorts of Reddit communities about it. Anyway,
I agree.
Yeah. So Justice League failed, as we all know. However, Warner Brothers, like I said, is counting that canonically because they have their own plan. And we'll kind of get into that, right? So after that released, most of the fans, people who were fans of the previous DCEU movies, and or people who just didn't like Justice League, some of them were like, wow, this sucks. I wish we could see what Zack Snyder's vision really was. So they started this thing called #ReleaseTheSnyderCut. And this is back in 2017. And for years, they just kept pushing this, Comic-Con, online, all over the place. This hashtag started trending. It got a little toxic. There were some death threats and stuff like that. But then it kind of reined itself back in. Then
Towards
Zack
who?
Snyder, towards executives.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know how toxic people can be online. So then Zack Snyder stepped in and he basically confirmed that there was a cut, because what had happened is he basically had 4 hours of unedited, un-CGI'd footage he had filmed. So he confirmed there was a cut. The actors who weren't pleased with Justice League said that there was a cut. Ben Affleck, Aquaman, Wonder Woman 2, I believe. Obviously Ray Fisher. Because Ray Fisher, Cyborg, as I'm sure we could all tell from this movie, got shafted by the theatrical cut. He's basically non-existent in the 2017 Justice League, whereas now we know that he's an integral part of this movie.
Mhm.
So you can see why he was upset. Also, Ray Fisher has alleged and is continuing to allege that there were some in production during the Whedon reshoots discrimination towards him by cutting him out. He claims purely because he was black. He's alleging that Joss Whedon and Jeff Johns and the CEO of Warner Brothers basically cut him out because, quote, they didn't want like an angry black man to be at the center of the movie. So that's a whole investigation that's still going on. And he also claimed that Joss Whedon was very unprofessional, which has actually been backed up by people who worked with
many
Whedon
times.
before. Yeah, many times.
Yeah,
So-
especially by women.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That type
Yeah.
of
I
unprofessional.
mean, you can
Joss
tell they're...
Whedon.
Yeah.
He was doomed from the start.
That's a deep cut. Threw me off there. No,
Sorry.
Joss Whedon, because of that, Warner Brothers is obviously denying that happened. And they're not only like smearing him through like social media statements, but they also fired him as being Cyborg from the Flash movie and from getting his own movie because of his allegations. So that's a thing that happened because of Joss Whedon. So,
Wait, with I'm sorry, what was his name?
Ray Fisher.
Yeah, he's not coming back. You're saying?
Yeah. So before he had like a very important plot and important role in the Flashpoint movie,
Mhm.
which he does in the comics, and he also was having his own movie coming up that had been continuously delayed. So they officially like fired him. They said they wrote him out of the Flash script and they canned his movie after he made these allegations recently.
Fucked up, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
I mean,
Which
I guess
sucks.
probably better for him.
Yeah, that is true. It does seem like those executives are pretty stupid and toxic. If not even if just through everything, like not even just through that.
Specifically
So-
because of the Schneider cut and the fact that
Yeah.
it wasn't initially released.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of the production history. So yes, and then actually this is kind of interesting that I've been reading about is Warner Brothers still didn't want to release the Schneider cut even when they were launching HBO Max. But those who might know, HBO is owned by Time Warner / AT&T. So AT&T saw the revenue in releasing the Schneider cut. They saw this online movement. They saw all this crap, and they decided. They basically forced Warner Brothers to release it on HBO Max. So that's why we're getting it. And they saw the pandemic and they saw all the stuff. So they gave Zack Snyder $70 million like a year ago to finish his movie, to finish CGI and do whatever he did, like 2 or 3 scenes reshoots. Maybe, I think it might even be just the nightmare scene at the end, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they gave him $70 million to do that.
It's a pretty smart move.
And here we are. It is actually a very smart move. Yeah. The only thing now is that people want more because it was good.
Yeah, now they're like, oh shit, we actually have to follow that up.
Well, that's the thing. They're saying they won't. Warner Brothers said. They're like, nope, it's done. His vision's over. You got it.
It's like they don't want to succeed. They found like the thing that'll work for them because fans, from what I gather, it seems like fans for the most part are big, like, you know, they're really into
Mhm.
what Schneider's doing right now.
Yeah, and even people who didn't like Batman versus Superman, I've seen and read have like either A, liked Justice League a lot more, or B, respect that he's getting his, again, this thing that keeps coming up where it's like he's getting his vision out.
Mhm.
So it really isn't. It seems like it's a no-brainer for them to do, but who knows?
I guess we'll see. Maybe we'll get get the Schneider, or release the Schneider trilogy or some shit.
Well, the hashtag that's trending is release. No, it's restored the Schneiderverse.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
The Snyderverse.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's the one that's trending right now. But yeah, that's the production history of this movie, and here we are, 4 hours in after watching it, and yeah. So what did we all think? Does anyone want to just go for it? Want to just give their first impressions?
I'll be honest, I really enjoyed it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was actually a really good movie. I don't have a huge critical eye when it comes to cinema, I'll be honest, but like it was really entertaining. It actually like had good tone throughout the movie, unlike from what I've seen from the original. I haven't actually watched the whole original, but I've seen a lot of scenes and it just goes all over the place, but in this one it actually feels good. And it is 4 hours, but there's not a lot of time where you're actually bored, which is really surprising to me. It's really as if you're watching a limited series, and it's just like 5-hour-long episodes or whatever.
Yeah, didn't they like split it up into like 6 chapters, so you almost could just watch it as like a mini series if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could definitely watch it like that, and you wouldn't get bored. And I'm really glad that they expanded on Cyborg's story, because honestly, he was such a great character, and I'm really glad that they actually put him in, unlike in the original.
Which is a shame now that apparently he is fired.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that actually.
Yeah.
They're really gonna lack, and I also didn't hear that they're gonna continue with the original. I guess it makes sense, but also, like, I feel like the story for future films was actually set up in the Snyder cut, and it wasn't at all in the original theatrical cut. So I don't know how they're gonna do that. It's probably gonna end up really janky, really weird, really not very good. But hey, we can always wait for the black and white.
Justice is gray.
This is great, baby.
I literally hate the fact that we're gonna have to watch it, Nabil.
I know, we have to. We're obligated to watch it.
It's our job at this point.
Although, can I tell you that Zack Schneider, confirmed that the Joker scene in the Justice is Gray cut will be slightly different.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know
no
why.
longer dread it.
I have no idea why. But it apparently is going to be a little different and have a little different. My guess, we live in a society. I'm just guessing.
Dude, I fucking promise
We
you.
can all pray, man.
That's going to. There's no way that's not right.
If
I
it
want to see that
does,
in glorious black and white.
It's
It's
great.
really the best way to
It's great.
watch movies, you know?
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, what if we like all watch the black and white cut and it's like, oh, it fucking sucks, dude. It's so bad. It's literally so bad. But the
It's
Schneider
actually
cut's
just
good.
the Whedon cut, but in black and white.
Oh my God.
They got us.
I said this to Nabil while we were watching it. There was a couple scenes where it's like for example, I think it was like when the 3 fucking boxes, I don't remember, the mother boxes or the mother cube. What is it?
Mother boxes.
Mother
Yeah, when the
boxes.
3 mother boxes were like finally restored or something, and they were like glowing and like melting together or something, and it was like this like 30-second scene or something with like these glowing yellow lights and all this shit, and it's like
It's fucking awesome.
it'd be such a pointless scene in black and white though. It's like
That's what. Yeah, exactly. Like
it
looks.
would look
looks
so
fun.
stupid in black and white.
Yeah, like it looks cool in color, but in black
Yeah.
and white, it would just be like, like someone like shitting and pissing in the boxes.
Exactly. It's like, okay.
Oh man, yeah.
But
so it'll be interesting.
Flash saves a pretty girl. That'd be a good scene in black and white.
Yeah. What did you think of the Flash slaves a pretty girl scene? Oh,
All right, there's gonna be a fucking annotated bibliography on this shit
there
too.
has to be. Guys, check the links in the description if you're missing the jokes. All right.
I kind of dig the slow mo scenes, like how they do it. It was a lot like X-Men Days of Future Past. It's so
Yeah.
like it's so fun to watch shit like that. Just to doesn't he like what does he do? He like takes the hot dog or like and puts it in his pocket for later.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
Actually,
he takes the hot dog so that when he goes
It was
back to
such
the
a
pet
weird
store
joke. Yeah,
for
yeah.
his interview, like he's like, "Oh, look, I brought meat for the dogs."
Yeah,
Dude, if
that
some
seemed like a
joker-
remnant of Whedon.
if some joker showed up to my fucking interview for like dog sitter and just pulled a hot dog out of his pocket, I would not like increase his score because of that.
If Jared Leto Joker showed up to my pet store and gave my dog a reach around, oh my God. Come on, bro. No,
Let's not
No,
joke
but
about that,
I
bro.
liked,
He might.
I also liked, again, I think that a lot of people, myself to some degree, were like, oh, Zack Schneider and his slow-mo, you know? But I really liked it in this movie. I think it fit with the tone. It fit being in that kind of epic sense of things that he's always shooting for. And again, with like Evan said with the Flash scene, it is obviously, it's hard. Okay, Days of Future Past being the first real movie to showcase, I think, a speedster in that sense with the slow motion. It's kind of funny how, because of that, for the rest of time, it'll be like, oh, that was so Days of Future Past. Even though it's not necessarily like a great scene, it was just the first scene, first movie to do it, I think. But I like that Zack Schneider added the lightning. Justin and I talked about that while we were watching it.
Yeah.
I think the lightning that is in association with the Flash's powers added.
Was that not in the original cut?
I think it was, but it definitely felt a lot more prevalent in this one, I would say. And also, it was in the original cut, but they were all in the Schneider shots anyway. So, I mean, like most of the action in the Whedon cut are just altered from the Schneider cut. So,
I'm pretty sure most of the Whedon cut stuff is all like just like random quips and
shitty jokes, like really bad jokes.
Like,
it just like turns and it's like, oh, Batman is now 20 pounds heavier and like
literally
talking about like I
Yeah.
don't know.
Like they spent $100 million just to add like 50% quips and 50% Whedon sexualizing women. Like, there's a pretty big one that's going around on the Twitters right now, where it's the scene where Bruce Wayne is just like walking down a ramp in his like warehouse or whatever that is that he has the huge plane in, and he walks up to Wonder Woman, and in the Schneider cut, it's just him walking up and you see her back. But in the Whedon cut, it's just her ass. It's like the full shot.
It is so egregious too.
It is so heavy how he just did it.
It's so heavy.
It's just so heavy-handed, that is. And there's that. There's of course this. You reshot the scene during their fight scene in the sewer where the Flash falls on top of Wonder Woman, like haha lol, fell on your boobs. Which, if you didn't know, when he reshot that scene, Gal Gadot didn't want to do it, so when he lands on her, it's a body double. I don't know if you knew that, but I think that's even funnier that like even she didn't want to partake in that. So yeah, Whedon cut definitely massacred some scenes, and it's good that we got to see them in full in the Schneider cut, of course. Yes, and I agree. The cyborg especially, and also the Flash arc in this movie are really the beating heart, I think. It's cool that we got to, like we said, finally got to see that cyborg stuff that got cut out of Whedon, and also the Flash stuff surprisingly worked well. It made I guess we can kind of go into spoilers. What do you guys think? We should just jump into spoilers.
Sound the alarm.
Alarm is sounding right now. That's not the alarm.
I'm pretty sure that's the alarm, actually.
I don't think so. All right.
It's more like a foghorn, you know.
It's more
Oh.
Something tells me it's more of like a Dionne Warwick kind of
Look, some people didn't listen to the Coming 2 podcast and it shows, all right?
It's only like halfway through.
Yeah. I won't lie.
But yeah, we'll just jump in. So yeah, the Flash arc. I thought it hit surprisingly well, and it was such a cool scene at the end when he was reversing time and they lose, and I love that they
that was actually.
they inserted the fact that he could, like, it wasn't out of nowhere. He's just like, oh, I gotta go back in time for the first time ever in the movie, because when he's charging up the box in the Superman revival scene, he misses the box and he reverses time to touch it right in time.
Mhm.
So you
He
have
even-
that precedent. Yeah.
Yeah, he even says right before he does it, he says, when I go really fast,
Yeah.
I-
Time gets weird.
time gets weird, and I have a lot of electricity. So like it explains it right before he does that, and then it sets that precedent for him to actually time travel later in the movie.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Can we talk about the fucking? Okay, what are the enemies called? Like the aliens with wings?
Parademons.
Yeah. Okay. Can we talk about the asshole that had a fucking sniper rifle and shot the Flash
Dude,
going like the speed of
I don't know
light?
what you're talking about, dude. That guy is the best soldier in the universe.
He obviously is, but
best
how?
henchman.
I want a movie on that
Dude,
parademon.
okay, think about it. He's literally just got like a random chance to just shoot, man. Just keep on, because he must have been shooting for like an hour,
But that
just trying to hit the Flash.
Yeah,
He's
but
just
it
been
shows
shooting
him.
over
it's
and
not,
over
yeah,
again.
it's not trial and error. He literally looks.
he
He sees like a
calculates it.
flash, and he
He runs the
calculates
numbers.
it and shoots. Yeah.
I guess it's because like the Flash was going around where he'd appear in the same spot like every second because of how
Yeah,
fast he was going. So the guy's just like, pew, and like fucking, dude, it literally is just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, like
because
he saw like a bright blue spot, and he's
you
like,
and I
"Oh,
were
should shoot
joking
that."
about that. We were literally joking. Like, imagine, like, look at this jackass like trying to shoot the Flash. Like, how stupid is he? And then he fucking hits him.
And then Batman's like, "Oh," and then he like takes him out like 2
Yeah.
minutes later.
And then the Flash isn't even fucking affected by it because he
Well,
just
he
goes back
is.
in time. And
He does
is
go back in time,
healed.
but they did make a good thing of like, he's like, "Oh, I got a new wing knocked out of me." Like,
Yeah. That's
like,
true. That was
he did do
good,
that. He did
actually.
do that for like 45 seconds. So
Yeah.
props to them for
That was a good
having
bit.
some. Yeah. And it does lead him getting shot. Does obviously lead to them losing initially, which is good. So it worked out, I think. And it's more funny that the parademon shot him than like, oh, what the hell? You know, it's just funny.
Yeah.
And it's kind of in the realm of like, okay, it's a comic book movie. There's always a level of, you know.
That is true. That is
And we don't know their powers. Maybe they have super math calculation or
No,
something.
they have like
and-
eyesight like
Well,
fucking
yeah.
Legolas or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, aren't they like machines or something? But no, they're not. I just
No, and it's never really specified. At one point, when Gal Gadot, who I will say, quick side note, definitely the worst part of this movie. I don't think she's a very good actress in this movie. I know that they're gonna try to cancel me for saying that, but
I don't think
I-
anyone's gonna cancel.
She's like the worst fucking narrator.
she's so stiff, dude. It's really bad. Like and it's not just this movie. It's the Schneider cut. It's the reshots and the Whedon cut. It is. I would even say parts of Batman v Superman that she's in. Although she did, I think that they had a good introduction for her and she started off okay, but I think it was just downhill after that. And even the Wonder Woman movie.
I think she was all right in the Batman versus Superman.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. Anyway, so when Gal Gadot is giving that narration of like his like Darkseid and his armies, I think I'm pretty sure she says that the when Darkseid / Steppenwolf come to a world and they put the boxes together and they like terraform the world, I think the people turn into parademons. I'm pretty sure she said something like that. Like
I think I saw a clip
Yeah.
of the original where they were saying that when people got hit by his axe, they would turn Steppenwolf's axe. They would turn into a parademon.
Speaking of axe and getting hit, are we going to talk about Darkseid? The
oh
fact
my
that
god.
Steppenwolf is like this badass dude that's like made of like biometal or something. He like gets shot with like 100 arrows and then he just like flexes his skin and they all break off.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then there's the flashback where the fucking Mongols and the Vikings are like fighting Darkseid. Dude, and he gets cleaved with like an axe once and he just fucking passes out. He just blacks out.
Yeah, like it's insane because he's like fighting all these Greek gods and he kills a Green Lantern, like chops his
Yeah.
fucking hand off, and the Green Lantern ring almost goes to him, and that was kind of cool. And then like I think Ares or Zeus or
Yeah,
one of the
David
yeah.
Thewlis flies
Yeah.
in with this big ass axe and just
hits
snaps
him
their
once,
butts.
and he's
It's
like, "Whoa, whoa!" He comes back.
To be fair, did you see that blood coming out of him? Like,
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like,
Why
you
is
don't
he able
expect
to
that.
bleed like that because of that? Like,
Because it's not even like he just gets the axe and he goes back to his ship, or like something else happens. He goes back to his ship and he's like, and then he passes out, and you hear his head thump onto the floor of his ship.
yeah. Oh my god.
It was hilarious.
Dude, we were laughing so hard at that scene. Like, I thought he's like the villain's fucking boss. Why is this happening? They couldn't have come up with like a better way to like have him lose this
Yeah.
battle.
Like, this is the guy who in the future like takes over the Earth, turns Superman. You see all these cool future scenes, and that's just like,
hey man, they only had 4 hours to like fit that kind of thing. You know, they didn't have
Right.
time. They didn't
Yeah.
have time to show up and be badass. They only had 4 hours.
no. But again, honestly, with that, it's just funny to me. Like, I'm not even pissed at necessarily
no.
pissed. Like, it's just good humor. Like, but yeah, no, that was funny. That whole scene was pretty cool. Besides that,
It
though.
was actually very cool.
It was cool to see the Green Lantern. Cool to see all the armies.
Oh,
They did
speaking
good.
of which,
Yeah.
I remember in the movie I asked you this, and then because obviously I didn't want to interrupt the movie, I asked you to explain to me because I literally don't know anything about outside of the Schneider cut. I don't know anything about the DC universe. And I was gonna ask you, so there's multiple Green Lanterns? I thought it was
So,
one
yeah.
guy.
So the universe is like split up. The whole universe is split up into sectors, and each sector has its own Green Lantern. So like, there's a sector that includes Earth
Okay.
and like 50 other planets, and our sector gets one Green Lantern, and that usually is either Hal Jordan or John Stewart, who you might have seen in animated. He's like a African American man who becomes the Green Lantern.
I
think-
only know Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, that's Hal Jordan. So each sector gets one Green Lantern. So when he kills that Green Lantern, when you kill a Green Lantern, the ring finds the person who's like worthy of the ring and goes and finds them, and they become the next Green Lantern. And it almost goes to Darkseid, it looks like, or it just floats in front of him and he tries to grab it, I guess, and then it flies away.
Okay.
But yeah, that's how Green Lantern works. It was also, I wanted to say, is that I was expecting a little bit more. Don't get me wrong, satisfied that he included Green Lantern. Very cool. I liked it. However, like a big power set of the Green Lantern is that they can do anything with their mind, and the ring will like construct it. So I was expecting a little bit more of like things besides just shooting green beams at Darkseid.
Yeah, true.
That was the one thing, but besides that, it was cool to see. So yeah, that's the Green Lantern.
And you said Darkseid did nothing. He killed Green Lantern, man.
That is true.
It's crazy, man.
Is there a reason
kinda-
why he wasn't a human? The Green Lantern?
Yeah, they can be humans or aliens or anything, as long as they're like in the sector, I
Okay.
guess.
That makes sense
Yeah.
then.
And there's like 3,000 sectors, so, or probably more. But yeah, it's like, yeah, I mean, you'll see it, and they're doing a Green Lantern actually series. They're gonna do that on HBO Max, which actually I guess I'll mention now. So you know how Martian Manhunter is in the movie,
Yeah.
and he shows up once in the middle of the movie to shapeshift as Martha Kent, and then at the end when he shows up, floats down to Bruce Wayne. So originally, Schneider wanted it to be a Green Lantern that flies down, because usually in the Justice League, the seventh member is the Green Lantern.
Okay.
In most iterations. So he wanted John Stewart to show up, and he, during this time that he was making the Schneider cut, he was fighting for it, and they said no, because we have our own plans for him, because they're doing their own like thing about it. They didn't want people to be like, I guess, either / confused or like it, because they wanted to do their own thing for it.
Right. Yeah.
Because Schneider wanted him to be in future movies.
So is
that's
the
why
Green
he got
Lantern
replaced.
show? Is
Yeah.
the show gonna be in like the TV show universe with the the Flash and Green Arrow shows?
No, it's going to be DCEU. I
Okay.
think. Yeah.
Interesting.
Pretty sure. But yeah, Green Lantern Core movie coming out. TV series coming out on HBO soon. But yeah, so that's why Martian Manhunter is there, pretty much. I mean, so Schneider always intended Martian Manhunter to be the general. You remember he shapeshifts into the general from Man of Steel. He always intended him to be. He always intended that. But for this movie, he wanted it to be the Green Lantern shows up. So that's why he got shaped. So yeah, let's see.
So speaking of getting canceled, what do you guys think about Ezra Miller?
Oh, you want to fight? You want to fight?
Bro.
I said
So
this to
for
you
this-
guys before,
yeah.
but I can tell you right now, that man was so wasted off his ass. He did not know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna
and
go
it-
ahead and play the audio right here. 3, 2, 1. Here's the audio.
You learn it? Did you want to fight? Is that the deal? Whoa, bro. You want to fight?
Wow,
Wow.
that's fascinating.
really makes you think, man.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jackson. I just wanted to play the audio real quick for the audience. Go ahead.
Okay. But cause like you can see, if you watch the video, you can see that the fan is like very much
Wait.
like she's smiling and like laughing at it.
I've not
So-
heard of this controversy. What?
It's rather recent.
He's just like choke slamming this. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But it starts as a joke. He's probably wasted. He goes too far. Everyone pulls him off. He's like, oh shit, I'm choking this person. So I don't know how to really observe that.
According to a top commenter on this video,
On YouTube, some asshole in the comment section. According to our top sources.
he said that the girl was, quote, honored to be choked by Ezra. So who knows? The fan was honored.
I would be, let's be honest.
He's just joshing around, you know.
It looks funny as hell. As a video, at least.
He's like,
Just
you want to
Put
fight?
it in slow-mo and black and white, and you got yourself Justice's Gray.
God.
Add
if
some
you just-
lightning
What if
effects.
Schneider put that in, dude?
Holy shit,
as-
can you imagine?
Wait, I mean, we all know that there's the first scene in the Whedon cut. Maybe this was a deleted scene from the Snyder cut. Yeah, just filmed
Dude,
on a
yeah.
phone.
It's called
Yeah.
No,
the
that is
Flash
purely
gets
Whedon.
canceled cut.
This video has been recorded vertically on an Android in 720p. No, not even. Literally like 360p.
It'll fit right in with the 4:3 aspect.
To represent the true vision of the director, Zack Snyder.
It'll
funny
look,
would it be?
it'll look still better than the photoshopped mustache from
What if you could?
Superman. So
Yeah. What if you just CGI Darkseid onto the girl? So he's choking Darkseid. He's like, "Oh, you want to fight? You want to fight?"
Photoshopped. He uses Adobe After Effects.
what you don't know is that's actually a parademon.
Oh my god.
True. He actually. This is him confronting the one that snipes him.
Yeah, he lifts his hands and there's green goo on him.
It reminds me of in the Whedon cut, they reshot a scene where he, like, a parademon gets, like, shot by Batman or Cyborg or something, and the green goo gets all over him, and he's like, ew!
Yeah, it's because he runs through him.
Oh, yeah, he runs through
Yeah,
the
yeah, he runs
Wait, that
through him
got
and
cut?
he's-
That sounds awesome.
Dude, we misunderstood Joss Whedon.
I want to see. I want to see the Flash run through somebody. That sounds awesome.
But it doesn't look
actually.
like it. He just, like, starts running, and then he stops running, and he's covered in goo. You know what I mean? You don't see him, like, run through it.
Wait,
Does that make sense?
was that not in the Schneider cut? I feel like I
No.
remember something at least similar to that.
Maybe something similar, but that definitely is not in it.
Okay.
I can promise you.
I'm like
80%
sure he gets covered in the green goo at some point.
I'm sure, probably.
I just think maybe the worst like Flash being like awkward and funny joke in the movie is when he first goes into the Bat Cave, and I can't remember exactly what he says, but it's so bad. He's just like, "Oh gosh, yeah, yes," and it
Yeah.
literally just feels so bizarre that he's saying.
At least it's quick. You know what I mean?
It is
Like,
very
At
quick.
least
It's a
there's
very
no
brief
brunch
scene.
line.
Yeah, at least there's only 3 seconds of
Bro,
me going.
he's a
"Oh, that's
snack
little
hole.
cringe."
He's a black hole.
Of snacks.
He eats snacks, ladies, gentlemen, golfers. He is a snack hole.
Dude, people who haven't seen the Academy cut is out.
Golf Academy cut. Oh my god.
No, but
You're gonna get canceled for this one, dude. Just wait.
No, it's gonna get
Cancel?
canceled. Are you kidding
why did
me?
I get canceled?
Gonna cancel you, bro.
Oh god.
He has connections, dude. He has connections.
He's gonna hunt me down with his golfer friends, bro.
Yeah, he's gonna find this clip 52 minutes into a Schneider cut.
He will do-
podcast.
He will do anything. He will do whatever it takes to get every member of the Filmatic podcast removed, disgraced, and forgotten about.
I had a dream, almost like a premonition.
I mean, to be fair, he's a straight white man. You know, like
That's true. We were doomed from the start.
we were doomed from the start.
Do you think I have to censor the name? I don't know.
I don't think there's any. First of all, not to respect his privacy, 'cause I don't get a shit about him. The only concern would be like some sort of I don't know. We're just allowed to say his name, right? I don't think there's anything he can
I don't
do
think
about that.
we're not like putting his name in a movie.
Oh, I
you know
guess
what
it would
We're
be
not-
like slander is the only thing I could think of.
Is he
We're
gonna
not-
sue me
You're
for
not
slander?
slandering him though, because aren't you
We're
just
just
commenting
quoting
on
him.
something he?
I'm
literally
only
s-
quoted.
We're simply just quoting him.
So for legal purposes, Josh Purnham was a good friend of mine, and
Okay, now you're slandering the poor
Has
bastard.
anyone seen this man? I haven't seen him in a year.
please, I've been looking for him for over a year. Come on, I think he might have accidentally blocked me. Come on, I just want him to come home.
Come home.
He responds to Josh W.
Come on.
So
No. Freaking
yeah,
The Flash. Yeah.
yeah. You guys seen Perks of Being a Wallflower?
No.
I really enjoyed them again.
It's the only other thing I know Ezra Miller from, besides the Iceland cut.
He was in Fantastic Beasts.
With the first one?
He was in both.
Really? Who was
Yeah.
he?
He's Credence.
There's a second
I haven't-
Fantastic Beast.
I haven't seen it in so
Yeah.
long.
Holy shit!
You don't want to watch the second one.
See,
The
yeah,
second
that's the
one is
thing.
horrific.
I
First
actually
one's
really like
actually
the
really
first
good.
one.
The
Yeah.
first one's a really good movie, actually.
I
Really?
liked the
Second
first one a
one's-
lot, and then I saw the first 5 minutes of the second one on an airplane, and I immediately turned it off. Dude, that shit was abysmal.
I can assure you, it gets so much worse.
Hmm.
It gets like actually so much worse.
And don't even get me wrong, I love Johnny Depp, but I don't know. It wasn't worth it.
like that's not even the bad part. Like I'm gonna
Speaking
be honest.
of Johnny Depp, Amber Heard is in this movie, and what do we think of her character?
Wait,
yeah.
is she the Aquaman girl?
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even know that. Okay. Yeah,
I
her
think the-
character was nothing. It literally was like nothing. It was negligible.
I think the funniest thing that people have been talking about is how varying her accent is from scene to scene. Because first she
So
talks with like
true.
an American accent.
Yeah.
Then
yeah.
it's, I'm glad you agree, Evan. First she talks with like an American accent, and then it's like somewhat British the next scene, and then it's like
No, yeah, it's
half
like
American, half British. Yeah.
it's like literally so noticeable. It's embarrassing.
But the funniest end to the joke has to be in the nightmare scene at the end when she's there. She's like, "Oh, I want to kill that wanker Superman." And she's just like so like it's like the worst British accent I've ever heard. Like, and then of course in the Aquaman movie she's fully American, so it's just so inconsistent.
Yeah,
And,
what the heck? It's like
Yeah.
I
She's
don't know.
just trying to fit in with the British people on Earth. But actually, people in Atlantis have an American accent, so she's like, she's not sure. And then she goes on land and she has British accent, but it's really bad because she's from Atlantis. So
Right.
I
That's
feel
probably
like when in trying to like comment on and review this movie, it's like it's kind of difficult just because like I almost want to treat it differently than like any other movie just because of like what it really is. So like there's certain things I'm like willing to forgive. Like certainly like there are some obvious points where like you can really tell like the difference in who's in charge of the movie. But like man, it's hard to comment on like whether that actually like benefits or impedes the movie's like,
So yeah,
flow.
I think that what I will say, as someone who's been kind of through a journey, because like, and I said this to I think probably all of you at some point in Discord or whatever, is that I was I don't know what the word is, simp. I don't know. I've always been. Don't quote me on that. Maybe I'll cut that out. I don't know.
better
You're
not
leaving
cut
that in.
that
You're
out.
leaving that.
I don't know if the word is simp.
Let me finish my sentence, okay? I've always been a simp / apologist for Zack Snyder's movies. Okay, all right. Way back in 9th grade, being a 15, 16-year-old, seeing Batman v Superman, everyone shit on it, but I was like, it's not that bad, guys. It's not that bad. And throughout the years, feelings grew stronger, and I was actually somewhat hyped for Justice League, and was kind of let down when Whedon came in and massacred it. But and it's weird because going into this movie, I think There were a lot of memes going on, and it felt a little unnatural because I think the story wasn't straight in my mind of Zack Snyder getting this. Because at first I was like under the impression that it didn't exist, and then he said that he did have the footage before, and I was kind of finding myself kind of bandwagoning in a different sense.
Mhm.
So reconsidering Batman v Superman as a movie that I've always liked, and if I feel grew stronger after seeing this, I really like this movie. And even though when I saw it with Justin at 4 a.m. and we finished at 8:30 a.m., it was a totally different mindset considering the conditions.
Mhm.
But the more I thought about it, I kind of had a mini rewatch a little bit in my house, and I saw that again. So I think my final thoughts are: this is a good movie. I think that Zack Snyder did a great job. I think that what people miss about Batman v Superman is that it has a very specific purpose. You know, people will say it's dreary, it's depressing. No one wants to see that.
Mhm.
It's like, but I think it had a very specific vision for Batman v Superman, and that was to take these characters and put them on a mythological level and have their morals clash and have the world around them kind of crumble and react to their whims. And that's how I view Batman v Superman. And I think that the reason that Justice League works so well coming off of that, and so well in general, is because it's the next step. That's why there's more humor in Justice League. That's why there's more character development overall,
Mhm.
because it has a different purpose, and it wouldn't exist without the previous, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I really like this movie. I would definitely be down to see more from Zack Snyder. I will say that I'm not saying that it's without its flaws. It definitely did not need to be 4 hours long. I think it could have easily been cut down to like 3, if it were to release theatrically. Because even though, like Jackson said, even though it's 4 hours, none of it is like, oh, why is this here? It's just like things that go a little too long. You know, I said this, but like maybe we don't need to see 5 minutes of the Amazonians lighting an arrow on fire. You know, maybe just a minute. Maybe just a minute. That's fine.
It's it's a little bloated, but like, you know, to quote Justin on his initial viewing, I'd say this movie changed me. You know?
Okay.
I'm sorry. I had to get that out. But like,
I had to get that out.
I had to get your quote out.
He's been holding it in. He's been
It was
holding it in.
bursting.
I wanted to use your quote, you know, because
Right.
I feel like that's like the only way you can really describe this movie, because it's like
Didn't you just say before I spoke that you weren't sure if it worked?
well, I'm not saying by saying it changed me, you know. I'm not
You think
saying
it changed you for the worse?
No. I'm saying it changed me in general. I don't think it changed me for better or for worse. It was more of just like, holy shit, that was
It was a change machine.
quite an experience, you know. I think I'm gonna view the world a little differently after watching that.
How is that?
Well,
How are you
shit,
gonna-
at any moment, you know, my roommates could turn into parademons and take me away. You know, like they did to the the Russian girl, right?
That was actually in the theatrical cut.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Evan,
It's okay.
Probably
you
just a normal mistake.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was like trying to do some catch up. I must have mixed the two plots together, right?
Okay.
All right. Well, one of the things that, speaking of things that they changed, I really liked how they actually made Silas Stone like a character.
Yes.
And when he sacrificed himself, it was like, that was really cool. I don't know.
And that's one of the biggest differences as well. And what makes this work so well is that in theatrical cut, whether it's because of Whedon himself or because they wanted to eliminate Snyder's parts and they wanted to focus on what they wanted to be canon, it feels like in the theatrical cut they're just putzing around half the time. Like they in the theatrical cut for their mother box, the last mother box, after they revive Superman in the theatrical cut, it's just sitting on a car. Steppenwolf goes to the car. No one is there, and he picks it up and leaves in the theatrical cut. Versus in the Schneider cut, where Silas Stone takes it, he marks it, and sacrifices himself for the sake of the world and all this great stuff that actually has a purpose, and Steppenwolf goes and gets it, and Cyborg watches his father die in front of him.
Dude, that scene was so sad.
Which is also another thing where earlier in the film they're superheating the element with the laser.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
precedent.
to bring it back. And,
Talk about foreshadowing.
I mean, yes.
not like that. I'm saying like they like all of the scenes are there for a reason, and it's not like they just pull something out of their ass of just like, oh, yeah, no, we just found it. It's just over here. It's like what?
Yeah, literally. And
But
it's the
like
same thing. Yeah, go ahead.
you're setting up people's powers and how the universe works, so then they'll figure out by what you know, kind of thing. So.
Mm-hmm. And it's that same deal at the end. I think is the next biggest one where the Superman is revived and he comes in and saves them, but then Cyborg is trying to pull apart this box, and the Flash has to run, and he goes back in time. And each character has a role. Each character has a role that makes chronological sense, not just in the theatrical cut where they are all just fighting for no reason, and then Superman shows up and saves them, but then Superman goes to go save civilians with the Flash, that Russian family, and then he comes back, and then he saves them again. It's so like it's just in circles for no reason in the theatrical cut versus this cut where it all makes sense and everyone has a role to do. They're not just reliant on Superman.
Yeah, it's crazy how movies are better when you make your main characters actually main characters. Like,
Yes.
just kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. What do we think of the Amazonian lamentation music?
Okay. Are we gonna? Can we play some pitch change so we don't get copyright strike?
Yeah, it's playing right now, but at a different pitch so that we don't get copyrighted.
Woohoo! It sounds really good.
Wow,
Wow, it's like I'm in a
the
temple.
vocals.
Yeah, it's like I'm holding a torch and reading scrolls on the wall.
Just so people have a comparison to like what it actually would sound like at the correct pitch, could someone just like maybe voice it out a little bit?
Oh yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of like that, yeah. Just like that, but like just maybe a little less in pitch, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's good to know.
Yeah. I think
All right.
mine was.
Yeah.
Was,
No.
yeah.
It was a little, and it became a meme, of course, where anytime Wonder Woman or any Amazonian was on on screen, it was just.
Dude, it didn't even matter what she was doing.
It literally did not.
She could unironically be like taking a shit, and that music would be playing.
It was the most aggressive leitmotif of all time.
And again, I'm at this point where, like I said, with the two previous things that were kind of like little minor things, I was like, oh, you know, it was something that when I was watching it with Justin, I was like laughing at it.
Yeah.
And like, but at the same time, I wasn't laughing at the movie for doing it. It was just like, oh man, that's funny, you know?
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see the range and weight of errors and how they can be in a movie that makes sense. How if a movie makes sense, you can excuse / kind of incorporate those things into your own viewing to make them not mistakes per se, but an enjoyable, memorable part of the movie, if you know what I mean. So it's an interesting phenomenon. That's kind of how I feel about it.
It definitely helps also when I'm sure you guys also experienced it where not the biggest expectations for the movie going in.
Yeah, no,
Like,
not at all. And I think that's like what made it a lot more enjoyable.
yeah, and because it came out of a movie that was just like not good.
Like we were expecting a mess, and like it was pretty messy, but like
It was a little messy, but like with the big like blockbuster movies now that are like super messy, it wasn't that messy overall. It was good.
I mean, I'll say it. You know, people call me DC shill or whatever, but I could barely watch Avengers Endgame, and I don't think I could watch a 4-hour Avengers movie the same way I watched this. So, if you know what I mean, like I think Avengers Endgame.
I agree, actually.
Well, it had its. You know, you got to put respect on it to a certain degree. I kind of have my own feelings about that, and I've talked about it in the podcast. It definitely feels bloated because so much of it is just fan service and not necessarily character development, but like just, hey, look at this. Oh, look at that. Remember that? And just like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Versus this where it's an actual story. So even though, don't get me wrong, it's 4 hours, and anyone sitting for something for 4 hours is going to check the time 2 or 3 times. But it wasn't like, oh, when's this going to be over? What? It's still going? And it wasn't like that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Definitely in Endgame, there was multiple times where it was just like I enjoyed Endgame, but like there was a lot of times where I was just like, oh my god, it's still going.
Yeah.
Like, it's still going. And like the final fight scene was what, like probably like an hour and a half of just like random cameos
Yeah.
from because they had like 100 different characters, and it was like, I don't remember all these people. I didn't, and how was I supposed to watch all the movies? There's like 20 movies, so
Mhm.
like obviously I'm not gonna remember every single character.
Right.
But in this one, it's everyone is explained. Like the new characters are like they have their time to develop as characters, and there's just like one movie before that where
Mhm.
the other characters are
Yeah.
brought up. So everyone, you can keep track of everyone, and they all have satisfying moments. So
Yeah. I can say genuinely that I got this is a movie where in the final scene, the final Act 3 boss fight scene, normally I think for a majority of superhero movies it's like, oh, here we go again, you know? But this one I genuinely was like, whoa, this is a cool action scene.
I was
you
pretty
know?
hyped too. I think they built it up pretty well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool that, like you said, they all got their moments. You know, even when like Superman was just railing Steppenwolf, it was still like cool to watch.
Dude, that was actually such a good scene. I actually really liked that. It was fucking hilarious.
like when he just think about like the time he's just pounding him consistently.
He was literally punching him in the face against the ground for like 30. Literally, it was like a 30-second scene of him just getting punched in the face.
Right, because Cyborg is like putting the boxes together at
Yeah.
that same moment. So you just see like in the back, it's just like
I know.
Just like yeah,
It's like that is how you like dome a fucking villain. You don't just hit him with an axe once. You know what I mean? Like they could have had some badass like Zeus fucking teams up with all the other guys, like the fucking, you know.
yeah.
I feel like, I will say, you guys are talking about there's no scenes where it feels like it's dragging, or at least
Well,
not
I don't know
like a
about that.
significant
I'm
part of
still
the
gonna
movie. But I think the biggest issue I had specifically, I don't know if it affected you the same way, Nabil, is that also everybody listening will know if they watched the live stream we did preparing up to the watching the Schneider cut.
Twitch.tv/Filmatic podcast, guys. Go follow.
Exactly. The movie started at 3 a.m. And so when it's like 6 a.m. and it's like there's still an hour left, you're like, okay, that is a little taxing. But it's not like I'm tired of watching it. It's just like I'm tired.
It's just I'm physically tired.
Literally just tired.
That's what I was saying, is that first viewing, well, it was fun to stay up, and I'm glad we did. Don't get me wrong. It totally skewed my mind for the movie. I mean, Evan even saw the next day. He's like, should I watch it today? And we were like joking around, like, oh, it changed our lives. And Evan looked at my letterbox and he's like, you gave it 1.5 stars. And I'm like, yeah, I did at 8 a.m. But then when I kind of rewatched it, I was like, okay, this is 3.5 stars right now, and might even go up. I don't know.
You
but
rewatched it, just quickly did a little.
Well, no,
little
because
rewatch.
it's a long story. Like my family was, it's a whole thing. But I did happen to rewatch it, and I liked it a lot more. And I'm actually glad that I did, because I was in a mind state where I didn't want to go pass out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I think
I
really
watched it in the middle of the day, and in like 2 sittings. Like I watched the first like 45 minutes. And I'm like,
oh no,
I'm
even when I
tired, I'm
rewatched
going to
it,
bed. And then
when I
came
rewatched it,
back.
it was over 2 days.
Yeah, I came back. I was like, all right, I can watch this now. And then I watched the rest, like when I was just like doing other things, but like I was primarily watching it. So
Didn't they originally want Justice League to be a 2-part movie?
yeah,
They wanted it to be like,
It was like a 3-part.
episodic.
yeah. They wanted Snyder wanted it to be 2 movies, but even if they split up this movie, I feel like it would not do very well, because
It's weird because like the first 2 hours is basically like just the first act.
Oh
yeah,
think
it's
about
all
it.
set up. It's all like exploring the characters.
Yeah.
It's
so
crazy
weird.
that like a main character in the movie, who we're all, I think, mostly agreeing that he has a great art, like the Flash, right?
Mhm.
He doesn't show up till like an hour and 20 minutes in, which is crazy to think about, really.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you watch a TV show and it's like a long ass show, or like, I don't know, like a really immersive show, like for example Friends, and by that I mean Breaking Bad. So you watch Breaking Bad, right? And you watch the final episode, and there's like this feeling that you have, like, shit, I've been watching this show for like months, and it's just like over, and it's like, you know what I'm talking about, that feeling you get when that's like what finishing Schneider cut at 7 a.m. felt like. I'm not even like exaggerating. It's like I walk out of my bedroom like it's daylight, Like, I haven't slept. It's 7 a.m. I feel like I can move matter with my mind. I'm like
Dr.
standing. I'm literally Dr. Manhattan, floating in my kitchen. The coffee cup like comes to my hand. It like coffee comes out of literally the particles of air and like boils in my cup, and I just like drink it. That's literally what it felt like. And
Oh my god.
I don't know.
No,
Literally,
I
it
understand.
felt life changing.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Like, you watch it, and afterwards, you're like, "Oh my god."
Good, astute observation.
Really makes it.
Oh my god.
You're like, oh shit. No,
Oh gosh, yes.
God. No, but like when actually Justin at 8:30 sent me that Dr. Manhattan, like Justin and Nabil after watching Schneider cut. I'm telling you, dude. Like when I was sitting on the toilet after, just
Yeah.
squeezing out 3 hours of shit. Like
Jesus.
no, I'm just kidding. I was just I'm taking my morning shit right
Right.
after we watched the Schneider cut, and I really, when he's like, Darkseid is staring at the Justice League with the glowing eyes on his throne. That's how I was like looking at the wall, just thinking about the Schneider cut.
Nabil as Darkseid.
I was just like pondering on this and went to sleep. You wake up and it truly, like, unironically was something that was on my mind because it was like a 4-hour thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking about all day. So it really was really special. Let's talk about yeah. Go ahead, please.
No, you go ahead. You go.
No, please.
No, you go ahead.
All right, I definitely wasn't bullshitting. All right, let's talk
I
about.
was totally bullshitting, so.
Okay. Let's talk about. I guess we could talk about the epilogue. We don't have to go in chronological order, so let's just talk about the epilogue while I have it in my mind.
Yeah.
I think that the movie should have ended. The scene where Cyborg is listening to his father's tape, and they're showing the montage of all the heroes. At the end of the movie.
I thought it was gonna end there. I was like,
I thought it should have ended there because that was the perfect. It made sense, perfect, developed. The rest of the last 30 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever it was, just make it a post-credit scene. Make it some sort of something else. Don't make it the technical end of your movie.
Hey, man,
because
just bring
But
back
wasn't the actual
bring back the
ending?
race, man.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't the actual ending with Martian Manhunter? Didn't that happen after the Joker?
Yeah, that was part of
epilogue?
That was the last scene in the epilogue. Yeah, and that wasn't bad, but it doesn't bring the movie, in my opinion.
That's true. Yeah,
to the most, like, that's the last. Think about someone who. Think about like an old person, not an old person. What am I saying? So think about someone who wouldn't watch a post-credit scene in a Marvel movie, right?
Right.
Talking about people who would walk out when the credits roll, right? Their impression of the movie. That's what your movie should be tailored towards. Is someone who watches a movie from start to technical finish, right?
Okay.
The last thing that they should see, I think, would be that last montage. I think it would be, if you're watching, the last scene you see, and the last technical scene of your movie is Martian Manhunter flying away after he's been in one scene in the movie. It's a little like, you know what I mean? It's a little too heavy-handed, leaning into the future. Not that it's a bad scene, not that it's a bad ending. It's still cool. They got a cool score and he's flying away and shit. It's fine. But do you know what I mean? Like, I just think that cinematically and story-wise, I like the montage as a technical ending much more.
Yeah, I could see that. The montage was very good with the dad's like narration over the background. It was good.
Yeah, and then I guess getting right into the epilogue. What's the first scene of the epilogue? Is it just the nightmare scene, maybe?
The nightmare scene is the last thing.
The last thing.
I think there's the
Lex
yacht
Luthor.
Scene.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor, the yacht.
The dream, and then he wakes up.
The Russian family scene.
Dostoevsky.
So.
Man. Oh no, go ahead.
Did you want to comment on Dostoevsky?
I was gonna say, when I saw the clip of him just saying Dostoevsky, that like actually made me like physically hurt.
It's pretty bad. He does the kawaii sign too. Like,
yeah.
I will say it was pretty cool. If we're going into the epilogue, I thought it was pretty cool to finally see like Martian Manhunter like displayed like on screen.
What was your favorite part of like his costume? Because he had a pretty cool costume, I think.
I don't know. I kind of like the fucking like cape thing that he has.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty cool. So
I don't know. I just thought it was neat because like
earlier...
Martian Manhunter, like when I used to play like Injustice and shit, like Martian Manhunter was one of my favorite characters. So it was kind of cool to see him. I don't know. I don't really like what his face looks like. It's kind of like weird. He's got like those weird like alien bumps that what they do in movies. Like I feel like every alien character always looks the same.
like the ridges.
They have like
I know.
like bumps and like weird like lines around their head and shit. I think that looks kind of stupid.
Thanos.
I will say that I think that a majority of the reshoot money that went into CGI definitely went into him because he looks like the best out of the new CGI for sure.
I kind of like how he just pops up. He's like, "What's up, Batman?"
It's cool to see him for sure.
Yeah, but earlier in the movie, because I don't really know DC heroes like at all. So when he showed up earlier, I was like, "Who is that?" Because like I knew it was one of those things where you see him and you're just like, "It's Martian Manhunter," but me being like just like completely clueless, I was just like,
"Yeah, I'm right there with you."
So I like left my room and I'm like, "Hey Cooper, do you know who this guy is?" He's like, "No idea." I'm like, "Okay." So I just like went back to my room and like, I'll look it up later.
Yeah, Google moment for sure for people who don't know. I mean, and I imagine a lot of people wouldn't know because he's not a very mainstream character. But no. I will say also, I guess before we get into the epilogue, that scene where he's pretending to be Martha Kent. I think that, and I said this to Justin when we watched it, because during that scene they talk about grief and missing Superman and trying to move on with life. But they put that scene right after the Justice League decides they're going to revive Superman. So I feel like it didn't hit as hard as it could have. I think that scene should have been much earlier in the movie to show that she's kind of going to try to move on. I guess I still kind of see that maybe he didn't want it to be that early, but it did feel weird that like they're like, we're going to bring back Superman. They're looking at the hologram and it's playing that music. And then it cuts to that scene. I was like, but
maybe we were supposed to feel like it still could be sad because it's not even like confirmed that reviving Superman is even going to work because they were unsure about whether or not it would actually work.
Yeah, I guess.
But I feel like it's kind of obvious based on
everything.
The fucking fact that it's a movie that obviously Superman is not going to, be dead. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's also the fact that Martian Manhunter is trying to push her to the point. Like he's like the architect of that kind of thing. Of like he's trying to get her into the right place, the right mindset, so that she can push forward Superman to save the world.
True.
So,
yeah. That actually makes sense because I think in Batman v Superman, Martha Kent especially, and I think kind of Lois is like, you don't owe the world anything, and like you don't have to take this burden on. So that's actually a good point. Is that in this movie, through that conversation and through her own grief and all that, she's kind of being pushed to. When he does come back, it's not like let's go run away. It's you got to do what you got to do. So that's a good point. That's a good point. But yeah, the epilogue. So it starts off, good old Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor, on a yacht, who's escaped from Arkham Asylum. He's visited by none other than Deathstroke, Slade Wilson.
Dude, yeah. That's another one of my favorites when I was younger.
Yeah. And this is basically the whole point of the scene and why it was originally shot for the most part was to set up Ben Affleck's solo Batman movie that he was going to do, because that was heavily involved Deathstroke. So this was kind of meant to set that up, but obviously it probably has little to no bearing now because he just like tells them that Batman's Bruce Wayne. They're like, cheers, and that's that. So that's the first part, and then the second part is the infamous nightmare dream scene where we got Cyborg, the Flash, Mira, the Aquaman girl, and Deathstroke and Batman in the nightmare future that we've seen two visions of at this point.
Wait,
one
there's someone else there. Who is that with his
I'm getting to
camera?
it.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me, I'm setting up the scene. No. So, okay, here, I'll get very specific then, all right? So, yacht scene, black screen, okay? Then desert. Whoa, desert. All right.
Max.
And then I think what I think this scene has the worst CGI in the movie by far. Because in my opinion, and I said this too, it like when they show a parademon flying, they show Batman getting up from crouching from behind a car, which is very clearly a CGI shot. It looks like they're action figures to me. I don't know if you guys like looked very closely at it, but the CGI looks so like overly like generated that they look too real they like it seems like uncanny.
Valley kind of thing.
Yeah, there you go. Uncanny.
Yeah.
So that's how I felt about the CGI in that scene. Anyway, Batman gets up from behind the car and he's like, "Oh, let's go!" And then, and then Cyborg is there. He has like a machine gun attached to him, and he's wearing like a dirty cloak. He's like, "Gotta hurry up, Batman! He might come soon." And then Barry Allen is there, and he's like, "What's up, guys?" Well, no, actually,
I don't
here's
think
the
he has a
thing.
line in that.
He doesn't say anything because I'm pretty sure that's not
Oh,
actually Ezra
he
Miller.
literally looked fake. He looked
Yeah,
like
I'm
I did not
telling
even know
you,
who
they
it was.
I am 90% sure they superimposed his face onto a different actor as a stand-in.
it didn't even
I'm pretty
look
sure
like
it's not.
that. It kind of just looked like
Well, I'm saying they tried to do
Like
that.
a
yeah.
different man.
I don't
yeah.
think it
It,
was supposed. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a Flash from a different multiverse.
Oh,
is it
could
not?
be. Could be.
Maybe.
hmm.
Dude, it's
I'm pretty
Grant
sure that's just-
Gustine or whatever his name is.
Christine. No, I think
It's
I think
Zoom.
Is that not
Guys,
his name?
it's
now?
Zoom.
it's
And, like,
Zoom to win.
The CGI when like his mask like opens up.
I don't know. To me, it looked like
so bad.
it looked too similar to Ezra Miller for it to be like
Yeah, that's true. It
a
like
different.
I'm looking at a
I think
picture
they were really
now.
trying.
I
Like
didn't think he looked at all like Ezra Miller, but I can look at it again.
here,
Yeah.
I'm dropping the picture. I don't know.
I don't know. Look at that, especially the
The
facial
eyes-
hair
the
and
eyes look
the
like
eyes.
his.
I think that they just tried to CGI him
Yeah.
onto stand in. That's my opinion.
Okay, I can see it now. Yeah.
We just need Zack Snyder to come on and talk about the Schneider.
I mean,
Cut.
I'll text him. I'll see what he says.
Yeah. I think I have him on Zencaster. I have.
Well,
He was doing an AMA earlier.
Yeah. He was DMing me on the Filmatic podcast account, but I was kind of busy. So
I think I can get him. Hey Siri, call Zack Snyder.
Which one?
Oh, that's
Oh.
embarrassing.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
let me
is
check, let me check.
embarrassing. You do not want
no,
that publicized.
He was busy. He didn't pick up.
Oh, I
You know
heard
what?
that, bro. He's not in your contacts. He fucking blocked you, bro.
No.
you know what? I'm the host of Filmatic podcast. I have him. Come on, all right? Let me try this.
Okay.
Hey Siri, call Zack Schneider.
I don't see a Zack Schneider in your contacts. Who would you like to call?
Bruh.
My phone,
bruh,
my phone died. I don't.
bruh.
I don't know what's up with that.
Send the bruh effect from Ezra Miller choke slamming that girl. Bruh, 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 bruh,
Yeah,
bruh, bruh.
bro.
I think I'm gonna use
Fight!
that podcast bro effect. So, anyway, Flash is there in his futuristic armor. Mira is there, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill us! I'm gonna kill him for what he did to Aquaman." And
I'll kill him in it.
and Deathstroke was there, and he's
British.
and Deathstroke was there, and he looks a little different. He's like, "You know, we gotta go."
Dude,
And then-
Deathstroke's fucking facial hair looked like cupcake frosting.
Literally, yeah.
It looked so weird.
There's a scene in which Shrek is it where Donkey eats a cupcake and he has,
Yeah, yes, that is literally. I didn't know it, but that's what I was thinking of.
I don't even remember which one is that. Like 3, maybe. Okay, I don't know. Besides the point.
Wait, why can't I think of that?
Yeah, I don't know.
If I
it's
can't
weird.
think of it, it means it's not Shrek 2.
Yeah, exactly. It has to be 3 or 4. So yeah, he's there. And then of course we pan over, we see someone with long green hair in a police vest sitting on a cop car with a skeleton in it. And of course it is Jared Leto Joker. And I'm gonna pull up see if I can get some exact quotes. I don't want to mess anything up. In the meantime, do we have any thoughts? What are our thoughts on his appearance?
Okay. I just want to
So
say,
scary.
everybody says it's terrible, but I actually liked it.
I didn't mind it too much, honestly. He wasn't.
I kind of enjoyed. He literally was acting like the Joker,
he-
like not like Heath
Yeah,
Ledger
but
Joker.
The lines
like-
were like so cheesy.
That's why it was funny. It was like he's doing a character.
I mean,
It's like not that Jared Leto's doing a character. It's like the Joker is fucking being a character to
Okay.
Batman. I thought it was.
I
Here's the
just-
thing. I don't. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to.
I was just gonna say that like he wasn't like so egregiously bad like he was in previous ones. Like he felt like he just like toned it down a little bit so that it, like I could at least see him as the Joker. Unlike before, it was just like Jared Leto being crazy.
Here's the thing. I definitely. It cannot be. Nothing can be as bad as Suicide Squad, obviously. That is without saying. However, I think that it feels like a majority of what he was saying, it seemed like to me was improv. And of course, we have confirmed that the "We Live in a Society" line was improv, just used in the trailer. But I think that he was trying a little too hard in general. Again, I don't necessarily, I'm not like, oh, I hate it, but I think he was trying a little too hard to be kind of Heath Ledger tier, like, I got stuff in the works, Batman, stuff like that. And I think that it was cool that he referenced Robin, because that's something that's been hinted at since Batman v Superman. So it's been cool that he referenced that. It was cool that Batman referenced Harley Quinn dying, which is interesting. But I think the improv of like, I'm gonna give you a reach around, and it felt a little too much.
It was
like,
almost too Joker.
Like he went a little too hard, you know? Like they just I don't know. It felt a little off to me. That's all. I think that I'm having trouble finding some quotes here, but like, I don't know. How'd you feel about Batman being like, "I'll fucking kill you," and then Jared Leto being like, "Who's gonna give you a reach around?" How'd you feel about that? Because it's funny, but like that's not how he.
Yeah. No, I mean, dude, out of the epilogue scenes, that one, I would say it's the worst because like I just like I don't understand it really, and it's probably never gonna ever be like followed up. But like, shit, man, it was kind of funny to see the Joker again.
I honestly just wasn't a huge fan of either of the nightmare sequences. Like the first one especially, it felt just way too long. Like the first one was just like, it just kept on going, and I was like, when is this gonna
that's
end?
true. It did just
like,
keep on going.
I know this is a dream, so like, and why are these like random like FBI agent like SWAT members like? Why do they have like a Superman crest on them? Like it was so ridiculous to me, and I was like, just can I go back to the movie? That was
you also
that was the
watched
one
the
time
Ultimate
when I was
Edition.
just like, was that Batman versus Superman?
Yeah, you're thinking of
That was Batman. Oh, my bad. That's my bad. I watched them very close together, so they kind of are melding together. But
no, but
okay.
in theaters for Batman v Superman, I thought the nightmare sequence was pretty cool because it's like, first of all, it looked insane in the theater for sure. Great CGI, great atmosphere, and he was showing him like fucking like shooting parademons and stabbing them and shit, and that was cool. And then he woke up, and it wasn't the Ultimate Edition, obviously, because it was in theaters, so it didn't feel like it went too long. So I thought it was cool then. But this one, yeah, go ahead.
I also did watch it on my dinky little laptop screen, so like it was less of a atmosphere than watching it in theaters. So that is fair.
Okay, so I'm going to read to you, give you kind of a rundown of what Snyder said in an interview about the epilogue, okay? So he says that here's the situation. In this whole epilogue sequence, the new thing that he reshot in the last year was the Batman and Joker scene specifically. He thought that for if it's going to be his last DC movie, he thought that it would only be right for him to get Batman and Joker together, considering they've never been together in a movie. This iteration of Batman and Joker.
True.
So he came up with that scene, and he also mentioned about what I said earlier, how Martian Manhunter was supposed to be Green Lantern, and the dialogue got changed a little bit, and he fixed that because the studio didn't want it. And let's see. So the interviewer asked, this is pretty funny. The interviewer said, "One of my favorite lines in the epilogue is when Joker, in response to Batman threatening to kill him, says, 'You don't want to kill me. I'm your best friend. Besides, who's going to give you a reach around?' Snyder says, 'It's a solid question, really, if you think about it.'"
Wait, actually, he unironically said
real.
that?
This is real. I'm reading this directly from an Esquire article.
It's a solid question.
Which will be obviously be in the annotated bibliography of this episode. And they said, "So I know Jared Leto can get deep into his roles. Was the reach around line an ad lib?" He said that was an ad lib. And after he ad libbed it, Leto said that, quote, "That's never going to be in the movie." And Snyder said, "You watch."
They're literally just fucking around. He's like, I literally fucking could put this in the movie. And Jared Leto's like, "No, don't do that." And Schneider's like, "Oh, dude, I fucking will." And Jared Leto's like,
"Watch me."
That's fucking. I like that he stays in character.
Yeah, have you seen that interview with him talking about his band?
30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah, I saw the clip.
Is that
we need
also-
Jared Leto and Zack Schneider on this episode, like to at least come into some podcast episode and talk.
dude? Jared
I feel
Leto
like-
is fucking weird.
I don't know.
feel
He
like
seems
you could
fun
get
as
Jared
hell.
Leto. I feel like we could get Jared Leto if you're in the right place at the right time. You know what I mean? If we lived
Yeah.
in California,
If we
I feel like
bumped
if you
into
lived-
him,
exactly. I feel like Jared Leto is the type of motherfucker you bump into him at a grocery store. You're like, oh, I love your work as Joker, and he's like, thanks. And I can't do it. I don't know what voice he does. But because it's weird with his voice because in this one versus Suicide Squad, he does a lot more of like a Western Matthew McConaughey type, like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, Batman, like that type of accent. So that was weird. But I feel like you could bump it to Jared Leto and be like, oh, I have a podcast. I really liked your ad lib reach around line in Justice League. Would you want to maybe do a quick interview for me over Zoom? And I feel like he would do it. You know, I feel like he was the type of guy to do that.
yeah.
We'll have to ask.
Guess we'll have to go to
I'm
California.
gonna send him a message on Instagram right now.
Oh, bet.
Oh, I'll call him.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
call
what
him.
Schneider said when Leto said
yeah,
that
I can
the
call
retrend
him.
wouldn't be in the movie.
Hey Siri. Hey Siri. It's not working. Hey Siri. It's not working. Hey Siri.
It knows you're gonna fucking ask it like Jared Leto. It's like, shut up.
I refuse to. It's like,
I don't know, man.
No,
He's got
but,
10 million followers. I don't think he's gonna respond.
maybe not. What if you have to start with something really like? I don't know. I feel like if one of
Filmatic
us were,
vote.
Just say important.
Comment in the post on Instagram about this. What should Justin DM to Jared Leto?
yeah, that also enters you in the giveaway. By the way, fucking jackasses. No one comments shit. All right?
Dude, Evan commented like a third of the giveaway for the
You
last.
said no. You said I have to do any of these to be put into the giveaway. You didn't say I have to do all of them.
No, I say in tandem.
In tandem?
That
What
means at
in
the same
tandem?
time.
No.
Yes,
That's
I
not-
literally say that. You can go back and fucking clip my voice and listen to it as your fucking ringtone, and you will hear that it is me saying, comment this in tandem with that.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about your gift card or you're not your giveaway. Nabil said. Nabil
There's no
said.
separate giveaway.
No, yeah, yeah. Nabil
In the,
says.
are you talking about in the coming 2 episodes?
Yeah.
It's the same giveaway.
Yeah, Nabil just says all you have to do is comment. We live in a society, or like you
But
know the
he
joke.
does
he
not say
amended
that.
it. He amended it when he said in tandem. Why are we arguing about this? Please just listen to the podcast. If you made it this far, please, comment. What do we say to comment? Comment what Justin should DM Jared Leto.
You have to make it clear that what you're commenting is what you want me to say.
Well, they should
It
use
can't
that- they
be
should
any
use that-
comment.
They should use a hashtag after it. They should say
True. Reach around.
hashtag Filmatic reach around.
There you go.
There you go.
That's obscure enough that no one could accidentally type that and win the giveaway without actually listening to the episode.
Wait, so Evan, what were your thoughts on the dark side battle?
Well, I mean, besides the dark side looks exactly like Thanos.
Dude, that's what I said to Nabil. The first time I saw him, I'm like, is this literally Thanos?
No, for like an hour and a half, we were just calling him Thanos.
Oh yeah, we did literally just call him
Even though I
Thanos.
knew it was Darkseid, Justin started calling him Thanos, so I just kept calling him Thanos as well.
No, yeah, I thought he was pretty cool, dude. I gotta say, he
What's your favorite line of his?
Yeah, but like, what was your favorite part of like the battle scene?
That's a better question.
why do you ask?
I'm just wondering.
Why?
I feel like you've been a little quiet. That's all.
I'm just yeah. You talking?
You've been quiet.
You've made interesting points. You know. It's just-
Interesting points,
yeah. Just
Well, I guess if you're so concerned, my favorite part of the dark side battle is when he comes out of the portal and he's like, "Rah! I will kill you, Batman," and then no, okay. If you want me to get a favorite line, my favorite line from him was
Give it to you.
my favorite dark side line was, "You call that a comeback?"
You did not see
What?
the movie, did you?
What do you mean?
Darkseid says nothing in the.
What about his whole battle?
Well, he said he does have a few lines.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he doesn't say that.
He doesn't say roar.
Batman, I'm gonna kill
Hey,
you.
you know,
I'm going to kill you.
I was merely paraphrasing Darkseid, right?
Woo,
Right.
So
So
play a
Evan,
sound effect. Woo, you guys been pranked. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna quiz Evan. I was gonna say
Hey, okay. There's no need to quiz me. I saw the movie, okay?
you saw the movie.
Yeah, I told you I
tell me-
watched it.
Then tell me the last line of the movie. What Flash says to fucking what's his name that has frosting.
See,
on his
you
face?
don't even know, bro.
Deathstroke.
Deathstroke. Yeah. What is Flash's final word to Deathstroke in that?
This is so easy. This is like the easiest line. Look, question that you should
Final
get.
word or like?
That's
Okay,
a
the
failure,
sentence.
man.
The final sentence. He
Okay, I'll
says.
give you a hint.
You should have
Oh,
been
he
able to
says-
answer it by now.
Yeah, he says, "See you in a flash,"
This man.
right?
This man.
That's his
Nabil.
catchphrase.
Nabil, take him away.
What?
All right,
Wait.
Out.
I'm about to kick you from Zen.
No, please. Okay, don't kick me. Let me explain.
Okay, go
Okay.
ahead. Explain yourself.
All right, fine. You know, fuck you, Jackson. I don't even know how you.
What?
All right, I admit it. I haven't seen the Schneider cut. Yeah, look. I'm really sorry. It's just. Hey, well, look. It's just that I really wanted to be on a Filmatic podcast. It's been so long, and yeah, sure. I haven't seen the Schneider cut. Of course, I haven't. It's 4 hours long. Why would I watch it?
So this whole time you've been agreeing with the points. You've been making reasonable claims.
And I would have gotten away for it if it wasn't for Jackson somehow figuring it out like the freaking baby genius he is. All right.
I mean, you did
Grogu.
say that there was a Russian family when there just wasn't.
Yeah, that was pretty suspect.
That was.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm surprised you didn't catch me there, guys.
I was able to pass that off as just a common error.
It's just a JWP moment. You know what I mean? Because you're like, mix up the movies. You watch them together.
Yes,
I
okay.
mean, I mixed up Batman versus
Look.
Superman. So, that was
Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't watch the Schneider cut. I shouldn't have lied. But I think I got the gist of it.
Right. Well, I'm here to represent Filmatic Court, and as a Filmatic Court head judge, I hereby rule your punishment. When Justice's Gray edition comes out, you not only have to watch Justice's Gray, but before Justice's Gray comes out, you have to watch this movie. So you have to watch Schneider Cut
8
and
hours.
Justice's
and
Gray.
he has to watch the Ultimate Edition of Batman versus Superman.
Yep.
Well,
Which is
that's
3 hours long.
That's just cruel and unusual.
No. And not only does he have to watch the fucking ultimate cut of Batman vs Superman, we're gonna personally grayscale it and make you watch it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Edit. I'm
And-
going.
And you have to watch Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad, both in black and white.
Together at the same time.
Yes, they're gonna be
All right.
just side by side.
However, I will lessen your sentence and alter that sentence right now if you can give me a reasonable plea. Give me a reasonable plea as to why you chose not to watch the Schneider Cut and why you'll never commit such a sin again on my goddamn podcast.
Look, man, it's been a busy.
Look, man.
Hey man, hey.
Hey, man, take it easy, man.
Hey man, hey.
Look, man, it's been a busy week, okay?
What are you doing here? This could be one of the biggest nights of my life and yours. What's that
Start of a
from?
career. I have no idea.
I can
I have
answer
enough,
that.
come
It's
on.
from the Spider-Man ride. I know because I'm a real Spider Cut fan.
Spider Cut.
Look, I'm sorry I didn't watch the Schneider Cut. I just, I kind of just wanted to hang out with you guys. I just wanted to hang out.
All right, okay, enough. Okay, Jesus. So,
Pity me.
what I'll
Pity me,
do,
Nabil.
here's what I'll do. Here's what I'll do for you, okay? I'll leave you at this. You have to watch Justice's Gray, but before you watch that, you're gonna watch my own edit of Batman v Superman, the Sharif cut, if you will. It's going to be grayscaled. I'm gonna edit it. I'm gonna add some sound effects. It's gonna be great, and you're gonna have to watch that. Okay, do we have a deal here? No, it's not a deal. What do you mean? You're being punished. Okay, if you ever want to be back on Filmatic podcast, so that's your sentence.
Dude, Evan,
What if I
when
just
Nabil
lie
threatens-
again?
You wouldn't. You couldn't get away.
It's possible.
Well,
You'll give you
shit.
an Easter egg you'll never be able to guess.
That's not fair. I couldn't ever guess it.
What if you didn't watch it?
Look,
I'm
here's the
saying.
Physically couldn't guess it. It's not fair.
Here's the thing. What I'll do is I'll quiz you about the Sharif cut of Batman v Superman, right? And because it's my cut, you can't like Google it or look it up.
God damn,
Exactly.
True.
You're just gonna add scenes, bro.
I'm not gonna make it longer.
Like YouTube
gonna-
poop style, like cutting dialogue from different scenes together.
Take it this way.
Fucking
Take
make-
it this way.
You
He's
want me
gonna
to say
add the bro sound effect.
Take it this way. If Whedon could make 4 hours into 2, I'll make 3 hours into.
8.
Please.
No, I think that's unreasonable. 2.5. How about that?
All I'm saying.
Oh, if it's
All I'm
less than
saying.
the ultimate cut, then
All I'm
we're
saying.
good.
Evan, when Nabil threatens to ban him from his future podcast. Oh, you wouldn't do that. I'm your best friend. Who's gonna give you a...
Who's gonna give you? Yeah, come on,
Oh,
Nabil.
man.
Who's gonna give you a reach around?
Please don't make me add more to your sentence. All right, it's too much. Anyway,
Yeah.
Look,
Nabil, did you see what I said about Marty?
yeah. By the way, the cupcake thing was exclusively just Marty from Madagascar.
It was not Donkey.
So,
It's just a different...
Shame on us. Honestly, shame on us.
I'm literally
for
so embarrassed. I kind of...
that.
I'm like 50-50 wanting you to fucking censor that, because that's just me embarrassing myself with Shrek knowledge.
I
No,
don't know,
you
man.
have to live in your shame.
I
now.
know, that's the sad
True.
part.
Yeah.
I'll
I
literally
choose to
expose
bask.
you if you cut it, Nabil.
Like, you'll fucking listen to this episode and know whether he did it or not. You barely listen to the episodes you're not in.
Hey,
Damn.
you can't speak for me, bro. That's not fair. Why you gotta expose me like
That's not
that?
fair if I physically can't guess.
It's not.
Look, all I can say in anticipation for the Sharif cut is that Joey's World Tour is going to have some significant scenes. I think.
Let's
that-
go!
Significant scenes. No, I
think that
think
he's
even
gonna-
Joey's World Fly is gonna have some significant scenes.
Oh my god.
The Joey's
be
World
miniature.
Tour epilogue, dude. You're gonna like hint at
Let's
like
split
the
it up into
future.
parts.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be like when she looks up like when she finds the clips of all the like
Of all the
metahumans?
Justice League.
It's gonna
Yeah.
just be like Joey's World Tour, like Ezra Miller,
Choking.
like choking Sammy.
Yeah.
The
I'm
Laugh
telling you, this has
Factory.
great potential. Oh my god.
Shia LaBeouf racist video.
Oh,
It's
come
funny.
on, come
Oh my
on!
God.
Don't bring him up.
Oh man, you're bringing so many ideas to my head. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I think that all of those will be used
Yeah,
in some
he's
way.
gonna say,
You know
I'm
how
back.
long this bibliography is gonna be now? This one fucking conversation just like doubled it.
Guys, please check out the baby. Also, we have a new Justin Fishler video.
Oh, true.
What?
Anything
This
you want
one-
to say about that?
Guys, all I want to say is this one, you're going to want to watch it because there's a lot of visual gags in it.
Yeah.
This isn't something he can just play a clip from, you know, because if you hear the audio, you're just going to be like, what? You got to really just watch it.
What video
For
is
real.
this?
Oh, it's the video I make for my weekly weathercasting class. If you finished Coming to America, you'd understand.
Look, man. Look, man. All right. I'm sick and tired of all this bullying and harassment on the Schneider Cut podcast of all of them. Come on.
It's, Evan, it's
Wow.
What?
Like the pretzel.
You're gonna have to cut that, dude.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to
Just-
censor
you're
it.
going to have to
up.
center what I just said.
I don't know.
Okay.
That kind of disturbed
Justin,
me.
I'm
It felt wrong to say. I was trying to do a bit, but
I think we're really in the nightmare timeline. Jesus.
Okay, so
things
we've
took a
all
turn.
we've all watched the Schneider cut. So
Yeah,
when
of
is the
course.
Snyder cut coming out?
Who cares?
Okay,
Dude,
don't make Nabil have
it's-
to do so much editing.
Dude, it's just the Justice League, but all the characters are played by pretzels.
The
There you go.
aspect ratio is in the shape of a pretzel.
Exactly. It's genius.
Well, what it does more than anything is preserve the artistic image of Zack
That's what I'm
Schneider.
saying. That's what I'm saying. So, all right, guys, let's go, please.
I will say today I had this is kind of, I don't know if it's off topic. All right, you know how in Justice League, Batman's like, I had a dream, a premonition, the world was ending.
Yeah, I
Right?
remember that.
So I took a nap today. This is a real story. I'm not even kidding. I took a nap today. I had like an actual dream like that, and I woke up and I felt like that shit. Right. So I had a dream, and Jackson was there, and we went back what's it called? We went back in time. We time traveled back to like 2007. All right.
5 hours
And then-
later.
The Earth started vibrating, and the sun started pulsing, and the world just started to end. And there was this huge tidal wave because we were driving across a bridge, and I like woke up and like I was like, and I felt like Bruce Wayne, bro. Like when he wakes up in that scene. Yeah. And I was like, shit, is fly down and then like say hi to me.
You saw the nightmare timeline.
Oh my god.
So
You saw it.
I guess we can never time travel then.
Hold up, wait, Nabil. Okay, in Justice League or maybe it's Batman vs Superman. I don't remember. Doesn't the Flash also have a dream of the same timeline, or like a vision of it, or something?
you mean Cyborg?
Is it Cyborg? Oh yeah, it is. It's
Cyborg,
it.
yeah,
Right
Cyborg.
before
Yeah,
he
it's
does
Cyborg.
the cube. It's right. Shut up, Evan.
Yeah.
Shut up. You didn't watch it.
Shut up! Shut up!
Anyway, yeah, dude, you're Bruce Wayne having that. I'm Cyborg having that vision. I also had a dream with an alternate universe where Jackson and I were doing some crazy shit. And it was like the same day that we had this dream. Like, I was at a convenience store at night with Jackson, and he bought like a small plastic wrap muffin.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah, that was the dream.
Yeah, I still need to get that muffin.
Yeah,
Um,
that's truly the nightmare timeline.
So the equivalent would be like if Cyborg had that vision and he just saw the Flash buying a muffin at a convenience store.
He's a
He
snack
would- he
hole.
would-
He's a
he
snack
would-
hole.
he would buy a muffin, and then just the world would end, just right there.
So you
That
and
muffin,
I.
that muffin was the key.
It was the
Muffin.
muffin. Batman.
The muffin is the key.
So yeah, I guess me and Justin are predicting the nightmare timeline. Hopefully that never
True.
comes
Of reality.
of reality.
I'm glad to hear that I'm at least alive and all the
You're
nightmare.
the core
you're the
of it.
central.
You're
You're the
Superman
center.
of the nightmare
I'm
timeline.
Superman, and if I buy a muffin or I go back in time, we're just all fucked.
We're driving a car with you. We can never be in the same car again, just to
Oh
avoid
no!
those. We
I
can
mean,
never
were you
go
in the
over a
front? Were
bridge.
you in the front seat?
I was in the passenger seat and you were driving,
Okay,
and we
then,
were like about. And
alright, then back of the car, man. Just whenever we drive now, it's like, oh no, Nabil can't be in the front seat. Sorry, he has to go. We just
I mean,
don't
it
want
was
to be
crazy.
nightmare timeline, man.
The sun started like I said, like pulsing, and I was like, "What's going on?" And you're like, "I don't know, man." And then like we started going over a bridge, and a tidal wave just appeared and started going over us. And I'm
Damn.
like, "No, and I didn't know what to do." And then I woke up. It was crazy. This is pretty random to talk about on a podcast, but I think it's funny.
The dream sequence at the end of the podcast.
This is the epilogue.
Exactly.
Dude, please break the podcast into 6 segments where you have like a
But
little
then how do I
voiceover
do it?
saying,
Like a little voiceover, yeah.
like chapter 6, like brother, like mother, or whatever it was. Beloved mother, beloved son.
Well, if
That was my
Schneider
favorite
had,
chapter.
It's the only one that I
hell up,
remember the
man.
name of besides Epilogue.
There's also All the King's Men or whatever.
Oh, true. Yeah. That's a good
Or is
one.
it
Age of
All the King's
Heroes.
Horses?
It's men. I'm pretty sure
It's
it's
men?
men.
Okay. But I
That'd be
really like that.
So here's
Like
the
that Alfred
narrative.
said.
Here's the act. All right, part 1. Don't count on it, Batman. Part 2. The Age of Heroes. Part 3. Beloved Mother, Beloved Son. Part 4. Change Machine.
True.
Part 5. All the King's Horses.
Oh, it is horses. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy, what can
insane.
I say?
And then part 6. Something Darker. And then Epilogue. A Father Twice Over. Wow.
Those sound really cheesy.
You didn't even watch it, asshole.
They're
Yeah,
they're
that's
all
why I'm
like,
saying they sound cheesy.
they're all things that someone said during that part.
Who says don't count on it, Batman?
The Joker.
Aquaman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who
when
says
she's-
beloved mother, beloved son?
Oh, I don't think that's a line. Never mind.
The Joker.
Also, something
It
that
is the
reminds me
Joker.
The Joker, baby.
That reminds me of in Joss Whedon Justice League. There's this weird Steppenwolf thing with the mother box. I don't know if you saw any of this, Jackson, but he's constantly like, because he has in the Justice League theatrical cut, he doesn't really have a motivation because there's no dark side. It's just like to get all the boxes. So he has this weird thing where he's like, "Mother, come to
Yeah.
me, mother. or like he sees Cyborg and he's like, she is in you. like
Yeah.
it's this weird like fetishization of the mother boxes by Steppenwolf. So I don't know. Just remind me.
I think I heard a little bit about that,
Yeah.
but I didn't see any of the scenes with it, so didn't happen.
Yeah,
Don't
like
believe you.
any time that he would normally talk about Darkseid and Schneider in Whedon cut, it would just be like, "I'm coming, mother." Like, it's like you'll be here soon. Like, okay. So I'm watching a little too much. Yeah.
Oh. Too much there.
Oh. Didn't know you maybe censored. I don't know.
Maybe
That's up to you, man.
You're the best.
Stop! Please
You're the best.
stop! Please no more.
He literally is censoring everything. It's just gonna be a fucking single note of like censor noise.
Have you seen the one about no?
Yeah, obviously. Shut up.
Dude, come on.
You know,
Oh, man.
you're so mean, Justin.
That's what you were watching instead of the Schneider.
Too busy giving myself a reach around.
Oh, that's topical, man.
Dude, I love all these images we have sent from this episode.
I'm trying to
of, like-
send the link to that picture. When I send the link, it just sends.
You
it
could
as
send the
an
link
image.
also, but I think on Instagram I will also put the images up. I think
Oh,
that'd be
that's
fun.
true. That's true. Okay, speaking of images, when Darkseid is coming out of the wall, where he's like half alien, half wall,
Yeah.
his posture is so stupid looking. He looks like, you know, that image of Trump where he looks like the front half of a centaur.
Yeah.
I think so.
It literally looks like that. Like,
Well, now that's going to be in the bibliography too. So
look, I'll send you the image. It
It's
is
such
the
a good-
fucking
it's
funniest
such a good
posture.
picture.
Like, how is this man unironically standing like this?
Yeah, but
Like, I just
Justin,
sent it.
I love
Oh
what I
my
was thinking
God.
about with that, I was thinking about the enjoyer meme that you were talking about last
yeah?
night, and how we have the stepsister porn enjoyer in Evan, and then the Snyder cut enjoyers with me to Beal and Justin,
Yeah, true.
and Henry Cobb, of course,
right.
because he.
I think
is
it would. I was
enjoyer man.
thinking it could be funny since like while I'm editing the episode for this week, if I post all these images on Instagram and be like, no, you know that meme where it's like no context spoilers. for
Yeah,
stuff?
true. So true.
Yeah.
I think that would be funny.
Oh, that's fucking funny, dude.
But yeah, I think this was an interesting episode. I really enjoyed it.
I'm trying to find an image of Darkseid coming out of the wall, but I literally can't.
So, do we have any final thoughts?
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was
Man, shut the hell up.
Yeah, I mean, like I started
No, but-
writing notes, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, I gotta start writing notes. And I sat down once and wrote like a few things, and I think I mentioned all of it. I have here, right at the top of my notebook, I have Zack Schneider's Justice League. All right, here's a bullet point: Cyborg plus Flash arc, time travel done extremely well. We talked about that. Epilogue should have been post-credit scene. We talked about that. The score. Did we mention? I don't think we talked about the score too much. The score was awesome. I gotta say.
Really enjoyed the score.
I liked especially towards the end when they're like flying away to battle and Batman's like, "Faith, Alfred, faith," and that score with the drums plays. I like that a lot. Also, it kind of, not to bring up a whole new thing, but I really liked Batman's arc from Batman v Superman to this. It makes so much more sense, obviously, than it did in the Whedon cut, but it makes sense going from that to this. And also something that I wanted to say to you, Justin, that I didn't end up saying to you afterwards, that I was going to say to you during the movie because I wasn't sure if it was a spoiler or not. But way back when they canceled Schneider's Justice League, he actually had like an interview where he talked about a few things that he was trying to do in his cut. And one thing that he was talking about that didn't get included in this one was that Batman was going to try to kill himself at the end through that battle. So you know when they all go ahead and he's like, "I gotta go take out the shields" or whatever, right?
Oh yeah.
I thought that maybe he was going to try to do it because what was going to happen supposedly back then was he was going to intentionally try to sacrifice himself because he felt so guilty about everything.
Yeah, true. I totally forgot. You were like, Batman's acting kind of suspicious. Like he's.
I was like, yeah, Batman's sus dope.
Yeah, and I'm like, what is? Does Nabil like have insider info that Batman turns evil or something?
Yeah, but that's what I was talking about. But yeah, and they still kind of have remnants of that. I think just the whole way that played out. Written here, I have score is great. The last thing I have written here is fuck Jared Leto's Joker, which we talked about. So
we talked about Jared Leto's Joker, didn't we?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is we talked about everything that I had. So anything else from you guys?
No,
Justin.
Nah. I mean, nah. I'm good. We'll save it for the Justice is Gray podcast.
True.
Anything else that I need to add?
That's 8 images of centaurs in this chat. Oh, here's the alien. Man, linking all this is going to be a bitch.
Does he not look like a fucking that Trump interview picture coming out of the wall?
He does. He does. Oh, these are going to be fun to post later. But yeah, so we've talked about Schneider cut, and we're here. It's the outro.
Woohoo.
Classic outro mode is if you guys have anything you want to plug, anything you're working on, this is your time. So Evan, you're working on anything? You working on any short films? Working on any music? Anything you want to plug?
That's funny, Nabil.
What?
No, I have been up to absolutely nothing lately. Just kind of.
Hey, look, it's a guy from Hot Ones. Hey,
Sean Evans.
Yeah, Sean Evans. He's like, hey, plug your thing. Hey,
Dude,
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Would you do
God
Hot Ones
before?
I think being
No,
on.
I mean I
Hot Ones
have,
would be fun.
but
Yeah.
that's what you have to
You
add
think-
to this podcast.
You think you could beat the wing challenge? You think you'd make it to the last dab?
I definitely could. Not.
Maybe I don't.
I couldn't.
I don't think I could. You're probably hot.
I don't think I could.
I have some fucked up shit that happens with my tonsils when I eat really spicy food. For some reason, one side of my mouth, in my inner ear, gets super painful, and it's just not even remotely worth it.
Damn.
Damn.
All right, thanks for that, Evan. Jackson, anything you want to say or plug or message to the people? Or
I just want to say thanks for having me. Yeah,
oh wow,
it was fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope you join us in the future. Do you know if you'll be on the Shrek podcast? Do you think you're going to be part of that?
I'm not sure, just because there's so many Shrek movies I'll have to watch. So
Man, everyone's saying the same thing. I don't know, Justin. It might just be you and me.
so much Shrek content, not enough time. You know what they say.
Yeah, as much as I love to talk about Shrek 1 and 2, and even 3, I have not seen the 4th Shrek, nor have I seen the short films, but that's, those are short. I could watch those. I think I saw Puss in Boots a long time ago. Doesn't it have Humpty Dumpty in it?
Yeah, Zach Galifianakis.
It's pretty funny.
Man,
All
Shrek
right.
2. What a classic.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So, Justin, you, of course, have your project that you were working on that we can link.
Working
Got
on.
What are you working on,
It's-
Justin?
It's done. It's my
Sorry,
fucking weekly weathercast.
That you put out, yeah.
Oh, okay.
There will be another one next Wednesday.
Dude, David Lynch does a daily weathercast.
What?
Yeah, he does the daily forecast where he just has a video of him. He's all old and it's shitty quality most of the
And
time.
he's doing
Remember-
meteorology.
Yeah, and he's like, the day is March 24th, 2020. The weather outside is 65 degrees. The high for today will be 68 degrees.
I love
Why
that
does he
his
do
voice
that?
That's just what he
sounds like he's from 1945.
That's
Yeah.
your Dr. Rice impression.
No. My Dr. Rice impression is, you know why they call them coppers? Because of their copper badges.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Anyway, check out Justin's project and Shrek podcast coming soon. Hopefully it doesn't get delayed, but we're gonna try our best to keep it going. All right. So comment on the giveaway that you heard before, and yeah. So you've been listening to Filmatic podcast. I'm Nabil Sharif,
Evan,
and then just go down.
Jackson, Justin,
Hey,
goodbye.
See you next time. Listen to
Gosh, yes.
the sweet sound of fish.
Woohoo. My favorite song.